Up craze. Back to you, Maria.
Yeah, absolutely, Mary. Thank you so much. So is the virtual Bitcoin about to see a real world bubble burst? Frances Newton of Francis Insight thinks so. She says there are too many risks to make the virtual currency work. But Nick Colas of Convergex Group still sees value in Bitcoins and calls it gold for nerds. Good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Nick. So gold for nerds? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what I basically mean is that gold is a finite supply, and people for many thousands of years have found gold valuable. And Bitcoin is somewhat the same way, although obviously newer. It has the additional benefit of eventually being a transaction mechanism to make global commerce a lot more efficient as well. So there's multiple ways to look at it.
Multiple ways to look at it, Francis. Why do you think Bitcoins are so unsustainable? And you even said they're unconstitutional.
Yeah, I mean, it goes against everything that we believe in with our central banking system, with our banking system being insured. If somebody hacks into Bitcoin, who's going to cover that? And the other thing that I think is interesting is how much bureaucracy, how crazy is it going to get before people know that they need something else? And I think our government really needs to come in today and make a currency that's reliable and stop this crazy bubble making. Otherwise, people are going to circumvent the system, but it's going to blow up in their face because somebody's going to hack into it.
I mean, Nick, let's face it, you want to get paid in Bitcoins?
You know, over the last couple of years, probably so, because the Bitcoin numbers have been very, very good. So perhaps so. You know, the underlying point that your guest raised is obviously very true. You know, having a currency that people believe in, no matter where it comes from, is where people go. You know, I'm sure people 10 years ago would have said, well, the bookstores will always be with us. And look at what happened to Amazon. Technology always finds a way to answer the problems that people have. This is a great case study.
But this is a currency that's not issued by any government. I mean, the U.S. dollar backed by the faith of the U.S. government. So why would I believe in a Bitcoin?
Well, you might believe in a Bitcoin just a little bit, just to make a little pun there. And you would do so because you looked at the Federal Reserve adding so much to the monetary base with quantitative easing that you might feel some discomfort and think, well, let's diversify a little bit of our holdings into something else. This is the something else.
Well, what about that, Francis? I mean, we all know that people are talking about the U.S. currency and the interest rate market and the overall market as manipulated because of all this free money.
It's true, but do you think that the government's not going to find any way to get to Bitcoin? I mean, when they started PayPal, yes, it wasn't reported to the IRS. It is today. The thing is, if people want to get into Bitcoin, yes, very low amounts, but I can just see it. I can just see it, Maria. People are going to throw all their eggs in Bitcoin, and something's going to happen, and they're not going to be insured, and they're going to lose everything, and it's going to be sad when it happens.
Well, what about comparing Bitcoins? And I'm just taking the other side on both of these.